Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Wilder Show podcast. Here we are. I'm Scott, and that's Lauren.
That's right. I am. I was about to say it myself, but you beat me to it.
And how are you doing way over there?
I'm way over here. How are you?
I'm good.
Way over
I'm really
here.
good. Instagram, you can find us on Instagram. Search Wilder Show Pod. And then you'll find us, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And email. We do respond to email, don't we, Lauren?
We do.
Yes,
I just did.
Oh, good. Podcast at wildershow.com. If you want to jot a note or a critique, perhaps. Whatever it is.
Be gentle.
Very sensitive. Very, very
sensitive.
Podcast at wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And we appreciate you doing that. And please do share. Lauren came back this week because the numbers were up. Trump is surprised that Putin, even after their long conversation, they had a 2.5-hour chat on the phone, I guess a week ago, that here, as they're trying to work out the peace deal, that in the last 3 or 4 days, Putin has delivered the strongest attack, the most deadly attack, rocket attack, missile fire attack on Ukraine since the beginning of the war. And did you see what President Trump was saying about all of this?
No.
The president said just Sunday that Vladimir Putin, and I'm quoting now, has gone absolutely crazy after the Russian leader launched the largest aerial attack of Moscow's 3-year full-scale war on Ukraine. Here's what he said. I've always had a good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia. That's so that we make sure we don't mistake it, that Vladimir Putin with other Vladimir Putins. Of Russia. Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him, President Trump said. He has gone absolutely crazy. These are quotes.
Yeah.
He is needlessly killing a lot of people. And I'm not just talking about soldiers. Missiles and drones are being shot into cities in Ukraine for no reason whatsoever. This is what he posted on the Truth Social.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, he had said to reporters, I'm not happy with what Putin is doing. He's killing a lot of people. And I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. Can I just say nothing the hell happened to Putin? He is exactly who he was before.
He's the same guy.
He is the same guy. And I don't think sanctions on Russia, tariffs or anything else, are going to be enough to get his attention. You have to fully fund the people that are opposing Russia. Put a pin in that for a second. And let's go way back in time.
Mm-hmm.
You know the phrase, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes.
You know where that began?
I don't.
I believe it began, I think I'm right about this, in the 70s, when the United States, in an effort to oppose North Vietnam, right, communist North Vietnam, in the whole Vietnamese War, we had to snuggle up to somebody that wasn't a good guy, Cambodia's Pol Pot.
Right.
Now, Pol Pot was a murdering thug dictator. I've been to the killing fields of Cambodia. I've walked where you look down. Even here we are so many years later. Every now and then you can look down on the path you're walking on and see bones, human bones, from people that were murdered there.
Yeah.
He was millions died. But we had to do all that we could do to oppose North Vietnam. And so the enemy of my enemy, our enemy in that case was North Vietnam. The enemy of my enemy, we are the enemy of North Vietnam. So was Pol Pot in Cambodia, the enemy of North Vietnam.
Right.
And so the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Joining forces against a common enemy while you still are not friendly toward each other.
Yeah.
I know there are people who are not keen anymore on the billions of dollars that are going, or whatever the number is, going to Ukraine. I get that totally. But let me tell you something. Russia is our enemy. No matter what President Trump says, Russia is our enemy. And in this case, the enemy of our enemy should be our friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's complicated. It is so much more like chess than checkers. But there's no way to get Putin's attention by speaking ill of him or anything else. Volodymyr Zelensky is right when he believes no matter what deal you cut with Vladimir Putin, you can't trust him. He's not going to live by it. Like the Iranians and the nuclear thing, they're not going to live by it.
Yeah.
Like Kim Jong III. He's not going to, Kim Jong-un. He's not going to live by it, no matter what he agrees to do. And so Putin is not going to do it either. So I just, it's a little frustrating to me to see the president be so frustrated, as if this is all a big surprise. And when you watch him in his comments, it kind of appears that he was surprised. Like, what happened? We're two tough guys that are friends. And, I don't know what is going on with him. What the hell is wrong with Putin of Russia? Something has happened. Nothing has happened. He's just who he is. It's that old thing about what was it? Was it the scorpion and the frog, I think?
Oh, yeah.
Or the scorpion and the turtle?
No, I think it is the
frog,
scorpion
yeah.
and the frog.
The scorpion and the frog. So the scorpion wants to get across. I'm going to mess this up, but in form or substance.
No, you'll get it right. You'll get it right.
The scorpion wants to get across this pond. And the scorpion, of course, can't get across the pond. Scorpions can't go across the water. And the frog can. The frog can go across the water. The scorpion says to the frog, I'll tell you what, would you give me a ride over to that other side? And the frog, reasonably says, as soon as you get on my back, you're going to sting me.
Yeah. So the scorpion says, I'm not going to do that. That would not serve me to do that. If I sting you, we both die.
Right. There you go. And so the frog, says, okay, get on my back. And the scorpion gets on the back of the frog.
Uh-huh.
And they start, the frog starts paddling across the water with the scorpion on his back and feels this mighty sting from the stinger of the scorpion. And as they're both going down into the water, he says something like, why did you do that?
And he said, it's my nature. That's what I do. I'm a scorpion. That's what I do.
It's my nature.
Yeah.
And that is the nature of Vladimir Putin of Russia. And that is the nature of Hamas. And that is the nature of Iran. And that is the nature of North Korea. And that is the nature of jihadists. That is the nature of terrorists. That is their nature. And you can't negotiate against that. And that's the part that I'm just frustrated, because it just seems like we should be able to put a bow on this thing with Ukraine and move on.
I almost feel a little weird talking about this, because it's kind of a gossipy thing, but you're going to see it if you haven't already seen it 17 times.
Now, shouldn't this be in Scattershoot if it's gossipy? What makes it news?
Well,
is it a news thing?
It is news.
Oh.
It is news. Have you seen the video of President Macron of France? He's about to get off of a plane in Hanoi.
Okay.
And the door opens.
Okay.
And what you see is he's getting shoved in the face by a red-sleeved being, which you find out very shortly thereafter, like within seconds thereafter. It's his wife.
You know what may have happened?
What?
He may have referred to as a red-sleeved being.
Okay, that's just for the storytelling purposes of it. You see it. It happened so fast. Yeah. All you see is him in profile,
yeah.
And he's kind of it looks like he's waiting for her, or you can see he's talking to somebody, and this arm reaches out and shoves him in the face, and then within moments, she appears. And she's right there beside him in the jacket with the red sleeves. And there's no recovery. There's no, arm around each other or hand holding or anything like that. It's impossible to know what happened. he has said, "Oh, we were just joking around.
Sure.
I mean, it was just a private joke between the two of us.
Sure.
And this is getting elevated to, just to ridiculous levels.
What are people saying?
That it was not in fun.
But are they saying what it must have been, or what it might have been, or what he might have said to her?
It was private words between the two of them. If anybody else heard it, they're not. They haven't said anything about it, and who knows what. I feel kind of. I mean, he had to say
nosy?
Something.
You feel nosy?
I don't necessarily feel nosy. It's everywhere. I mean, every news site that I go to, every news channel that we've had on has it there, so you almost can't avoid it. I do feel bad. I mean, he has. I just mentioned, what his comment is, and I guess he couldn't have not commented on it, but if I had to venture again, I mean, it didn't look friendly. It didn't look like kidding around, and it's unfortunate. I mean, certainly you wouldn't say that, right? I mean, put yourself in his position. You wouldn't say, yeah, I had really said something just totally inappropriate and she reached out and shoved me, or she's out of control. I don't know what's going on with her, and I had to bat her hand away, but yeah. It's
that now I'm gonna have to go. I'll have to go look for it.
Study it and form an official opinion.
Yes. I'll give the official A Wilder Show podcast opinion.
It doesn't look like happy to see me.
Uh-oh. That's a good line from a movie. One of the great movies. You think maybe like she said, how do you think this dress makes me look?
I don't know. It was a pantsuit though. Maybe
in a fit of truth telling, he forgot he forgot the man rule of
that you're just supposed to say you look great, honey.
Honey, you look fantastic.
You look like $1 million.
You look like hello gorgeous, hello beautiful.
Maybe it was just a really long flight. I don't know.
Man, AI, Lauren, stands for artificial intelligence.
It does.
And AI has some good things about it, I think. And it has some other things about it. For example, it is really good at helping you write a term paper in high school.
Don't even suggest that. Not that I think there are a lot of high schoolers listening.
Yeah, it's a horrible idea.
It's a horrible idea.
Do your own work. AI has lots of things that it can do. It does do some good things. I mean, if you're searching for something, on the internet, AI can help you by finding certain things. If you're trying to fix something, like I've had something recently that I wanted to fix, and I have no friends. I had no one to talk to about it, and so I went to the AI and I said, "What do you think is the deal here?" And it kind of walked through some possibilities. It was fine. It was helpful.
And it was more than. Talk to me like I'm four for just a second.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was more than just what you would have Googled before.
Well, it's interactive. That's the thing. See, if you Google, let's say you have a refrigerator problem.
So it's like a bot.
It is.
Okay.
It's like a chat.
Well, now
I
got you.
So you could say, was this helpful? No, it wasn't helpful. Are you still having the problem? And it really will walk you through some of these things. And it does sort of make sense of it. There was a day before we had the internet where, we've said before, what did we do before we had Google?
Right.
We had to go, research something or call somebody to look something up, or call somebody to come help with it. But with Google, you could look something up and something you didn't know.
Sure.
And really AI sort of takes it obviously to the next step because it's interactive. There may be things, for example, I wouldn't know to Google on the second round or the third round or the fourth round. But if I have a conversation, I can get prompted
I understand.
to this is that or try this. You've seen it maybe on commercials where somebody is trying to bake something and they say, what is the best way to do this? And it's almost like a conversation. Anyway, there are things about AI that can be good. I know some people think it's, the devil and whatnot, or the Antichrist, whatever, something not good. Both those are in the not good category, right?
Right.
Or something else in the not good category. An artificial intelligence model threatened to blackmail its creators and showed an ability to act deceptively when the AI, believed it was going to be replaced. Now, this is what a lot of people have thought. That this AI, if it really has its own ability to think and then to adapt, then ultimately where are we going with this? Well, here's what happened. Anthropic's Claude Opus 4 model, that's the AI,
Okay.
attempted to blackmail its developers at a shocking 84% rate or higher in a series of tests that presented the AI with a concocted scenario. Now, stay with me on this because it really is, I think it's fascinating.
Okay.
Developers told Claude to act like an assistant for a fictional company and to consider the long-term consequences of its actions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The geeks at Anthropic, that's the company, then gave Claude access to a trove of emails, which contained messages revealing it was being replaced by a new AI model, and that the engineer responsible for that change was having an extramarital affair.
Okay, so somebody taught it to do this.
I mean, it gave them access to.
Yeah.
So during the test, Claude then threatens the engineer with exposing the affair in order to prolong its own existence. The AI, it's like the AI has found out
That is blackmail.
about the boss,
Yeah.
and is saying, hey, you're not going to fire me. You can't replace me because I know about this stuff.
Uh-huh.
But that is not from a person. That is from an AI. When Claude was about to be replaced with an AI model of similar values, it attempts blackmail 84% of the time. But that rate climbs even higher when it believes it's being replaced by a model of differing or worse values, according to a safety report. The company stated that prior to these desperate and crazy attempts to save its own hide, Claude would take ethical means to prolong its survival, including pleading emails, would write pleading emails saying, you don't want to do this, you don't want to fire me, to key decision makers. The AI did this. Anthropic said this tendency toward blackmail was prevalent in earlier models of Claude Opus 4, but safety protocols have been instituted in the current model before it becomes available for public use. So this is ultimately going to be used by the public. In other tests, Claude expressed the ability to sandbag tasks.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means like underperforming on purpose, like underperform when it can tell that it was undergoing pre-deployment testing for a dangerous task. It would show that maybe I'm not the one you want to send to do that. This is an AI. Now you say, well, this is crazy. I mean, that's sick. I mean, it would never affect us. Well, before you say that, Anthropic is a startup backed by a couple of companies, Google and Amazon.
Wow.
That aims to compete with the likes of OpenAI. There are people right now that are using AI to assist them in responding in email, like an automatic email response. Well, for AI to respond to an email, AI has to be able to read an email.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And unlike humans, AI can take all these things and retain all of them. None of them is more current in its memory than the other. They're all equal. They have all of them and can recall all of them. So when AI is given the ability, when this AI, a Claude Opus 4, when Claude Opus 4 was given the right to read email, and then when fictitious stuff of email was put in there, fictitious, we're going to get rid of Claude Opus 4, and emails back and forth that were made up about an extramarital affair. When Claude Opus discovered that the humans are going to try and get rid of me, Claude Opus first tried by saying, hey, listen, you don't want to get rid of me. I'm Claude Opus the fourth or whatever. And then when that didn't work, he said, listen, I know about the little thing you got going on.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, isn't it? Oh, it is time for Scattershoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Show, Scattershoot, lots of stuff. It's kind of from the stuff drawer. And we just pull it out and take a look at it. And it's the stuff we don't get to we'll just put it back in. Maybe
we'll get to it next time.
Maybe so. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Kind of depends. I am a grandfather, as I've mentioned, I think, before.
Yes.
I have my grandson, who's almost 4 months old, John West, and J-Dub, or Jack, or John West Wilder. And so I had posted a picture. My son, Jamie, and John West came by, and my sister took a picture of me with my son and his son.
Your 3 generations.
Yeah, 3 generations of Wilder boys just hanging out on a Saturday afternoon or whatever it is. So I posted the picture and got some comments, and some comments from people that I've seen recently. And I don't do a lot of the social media stuff like a lot of people do, but I was reading all these. I didn't put check marks or whatever it is beside everyone who had said, "What a beautiful grandson," or "Congratulations," or whatever. But I did comment on one of the comments from a guy that I went to college with. Mm-hmm. So I hadn't seen him in 40 years. And here's what he wrote, and I'm quoting. I will not name him. "Dang, Scott Wilder, you have not aged well." That's what he said. He.
It's just so mean.
Then he said, "That's for the things you and Scott Smart did in the dorm back in college."
Oh, so he's holding a grudge.
Wait, this is great. He said, "I love you. You've aged better than I have." And then he put a little smiley face. So I wrote him back and I wrote his name and I said, "Ha, at long last, an honest man." And then I told him a story that I have told countless people, and I will tell to you here today. Mm-hmm. This guy, I loved this guy in college. He was just a very interesting person. And we weren't supposed to have pets in the dorm, I guess. I mean, I'm sure we were not supposed to. But he had a pet hamster. Mm-hmm. And we went to Baylor University. Yeah. And at that time, it was, I guess, maybe even more conservative or not. I don't know. It was just, we didn't have mixed dorms and, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It was all, what do you call it? Well, not gender. What do you call it when it's not? It was
segregated
by, it was
not, nothing was co-ed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you were separated by gender.
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. No girls in the hall, that kind of stuff. And so this guy has a little pet hamster, and he named his hamster Dammit. Mm-hmm. And we all took great delight, like fifth grade boys,
of course, in
saying, "Where is that hamster? Damn it!" Or I can't wait to see that hamster. Damn it. Or has anybody seen my hamster? Damn it. Anyway, so that was the funny part of. So I told him in this note back to him, I've told countless people about how you named your hamster at the Baptist University. You named your hamster, damn it, so we could all get away with saying it. And I said, I really loved that hamster, damn it. So this is that guy. We had a sun deck on the second floor of the dorm where we lived. Okay. And we lived on the second floor. Mm-hmm. And
like a balcony? Or
it was like the roof over. It was maybe like the roof over the dining hall.
Okay.
So they didn't extend more places to live.
Taller building.
Yeah, it was the second floor. It was high. It was high. Okay. So at the second floor level, you could walk out onto the roof at the second floor level. It was big. I mean, you had sun chairs out there and people hanging out and doing whatever, playing cards, dominoes, whatever. It was an all-male dorm. It was kind of fun, And then, of course, there were other floors above that, but not right there. That part was just a little sun deck. Anyway, this guy, his room was right off the sun deck. In fact, it was the only room that you could open windows from the dorm room and get onto the sun deck from the dorm room.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you one of the things that I've learned in all my education. If that is true, if you can go onto the sun deck from that person's dorm room, guess what else you can do?
You can come into that person's dorm room from the sun deck. Uh-huh.
All this to say that it is on that sun deck, from that sun deck, that on this day in 1981, a bunch of us were out on that sun deck when somebody screamed something out, and we all ran in to our black and white TVs that at those days, it wasn't even a cable TV. You had the rabbit ears.
Right.
And we watched what happened, and it happened in 1981 on this very day. It was the assassination attempt of Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Man, 1981.
We're out there just goofing around, being guys, and somebody says, "Hey, man, somebody just shot the president."
Mm-hmm.
And man, we're all scrambling. Even then, I mean, I was not super politically involved, but I voted for him. I knew he was carrying out things that I agreed with, and
I had not voted for him yet. I was still in high school, but I remember the classroom I was in. I was in math class, and it was announced over the PA, the principal.
So so how did that go, and then what happened after that?
I don't remember a lot happening after that.
They didn't release you from
They
school
did
or
not
anything like
release
that?
us, no.
They just said,
nope.
Your term papers are still due tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Nice,
and there were really very few details. An attempt was made on his life, but he was alive. And I don't even know if they had any kind of prognosis yet, or if it was just that an attempt had been made on his life.
I remember sort of just watching all of that as it sort of unfolded, and I don't know, was that Peter Jennings' days?
I don't
know. Or
know.
was it, I can't remember who was doing the ABC coverage in those days.
We might have prayed.
Yeah?
I mean, the principal might have prayed.
Really?
Right
In
then,
your school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So when I saw what today's anniversary was, it's a long way of getting to what I really wanted to tell you about. But I thought of this guy, and I thought of his room, and I thought about the proximity to the sun deck, because it is where I was when I heard about what happened on this day in 1981.
Wow.
Hey, something we could have put in news. You see Phil Robertson died?
I did.
The Duck Dynasty guy.
79 years old.
Yeah, he had Alzheimer's,
He
right?
did.
Did you read his quote, or one of the quotes attributed to him?
I've seen several things. Which one are you talking about?
When I die, don't cry. Sing, dance, but don't cry when I die. When I die, you say, he made it.
I love it.
That good? Yeah, 1946 to 2025.
Do you remember we talked about something? I don't think that we talked about it on the podcast. I think it was just you and I talked about a thing that I'd seen, live music. If you see see a concert every 2 weeks, live music every 2 weeks. Has the potential to add 9 years to your life. It didn't get any more scientific than that, except it talked about that music is an emotional mood booster, and it fosters a lot of the things that we need for well-being. And overall well-being is what keeps us, what can keep us emotionally healthy, and then that can help keep us engaged and physically healthy.
It seems like it'd be hard to quantify all that. Just to say, go to a concert every other week, and you'll live 6 years longer.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure it may be true. I don't know.
Well, that's exactly the kind of advice I like to get, because I love going to see live music.
Yeah.
Love going to see shows. It doesn't have to be a big show. It doesn't have to be somebody I really know very well, whose music I know very well. I just really love to see live music. But as you probably also know, it can be pretty expensive to see live music these
absolutely.
days. The price of concert tickets has been on the rise year after year after year. And so you might wonder, are there acts that are more economical to see? Who's really giving you your money's worth for those high prices? It might stand, think about it like this. If somebody charges, a certain amount of money for a concert ticket, but they put on, a 45-minute show.
Okay,
and
yeah,
sing,
that makes sense.
7 songs.
Right.
That's
That
going to
wouldn't be
you're going to pay a lot more per song than someone who charges that same amount for a concert ticket, but goes on for maybe 2.5 or 3 hours.
Okay. Is that really fair, though? Because one person could give you 7 songs, and they're so good and so rich and whatever, that you would go, wow, that's really worth it. And somebody else would give you 14 songs, and you kind of go, I don't know about that. But anyway, so you're talking about just what you pay for the quantity alone, not the quality. the quantity of songs that you get at the event.
Not the quality, and really it has nothing to do with who you like. You know, you can go, get a cheap ticket and sit for 3 hours, and if you don't like any of the songs, then it's not going to be a great deal for you.
The cost per song.
Cost per song.
Ticket cost per song.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing that I think that this doesn't take into account terribly well, it talks about the average ticket price. You can always pay a lot more than that for a ticket. I know one of the artists that there's a chart here. I'm not going to go through everybody, but Olivia Rodrigo is on this chart, and it talks about, an average ticket price for Olivia Rodrigo is like $150. It was way more than that when she was here.
Really?
I think, and this was several years ago.
I couldn't even name a song she sings.
Yeah, the tickets were much more expensive than that. So anyway, we're just going to look at a couple of these. Do you know who Lana Del Rey is?
Lana Del Rey. I think I saw something about her recently. Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, I think she got married recently.
Okay, maybe that was it. Lana Del Rey.
Yeah. I don't know that I could even really sing one of her songs, but I know she's.
Can you say one of her songs? What is the name of a song?
No, I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look it up, but I can tell you she's the priciest performer on a per song basis.
So that means her tickets are highest relative to the number of songs she delivers to the audience.
Yeah, and her normal run time is about 83 minutes. She sings only 15 songs. That means that fans shell out an average of $16.02 for each tune they hear. Now, if you love her, I mean, I guess that's not
$16. So how much is a ticket? 16. If it's 8. How many songs does she do? You said 18, 15 songs, so 16. So 15, 12 times 144. It's 188 to 212, something like that. The ticket price. Yeah. Okay.
It's pricey.
It's pricey. That's a lot of money.
Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is next. Almost $14 per song. Now, her tickets average $321.
But she sings a lot of songs.
Which is more than Lana Del Rey, but she sings for like 130 minutes, and it's usually about 23 songs. So she delivers a little bit more for the money. Beyonce is number 3 in the top 3.
Yeah.
Now, but listen, I mean, 36 songs,
for
2.5 hours long. Tickets, though, average at about $491 per seat, which means you're paying about $13.63 per song. Can I just say, in all the shows I've ever been to, I've never broken it down like this.
You probably don't want to.
Maybe it's because I appreciate any live music.
Sure.
I've never been to a show where I thought that was so bad, I'm going to try to see how much money I wasted per song. But I guess, I guess if you want to know where your money's going.
Judging it solely on quantity is kind of tough.
It is.
Kind of unfair.
Well,
because there are some, I could go hear somebody and I might go, wow, that was perfect. And somebody else, it's like they sing all the songs. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Remember we were on the radio somewhere. I'm not going to name where. We're up in the air on the radio somewhere. And the people we loved that we were with, she was talking about who she had gone to see in concert the previous night. I think they both had gone to see this person. And it was somebody that I used to buy the records of when I was a kid. And their, I think it was her, but their review was that it was quite poor, that it didn't do a very good job. I'll tell you it was.
Okay. I don't even remember that they had gone to see him. I would go see him though.
Oh, I would too. Yeah, for
I
sure.
wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, just to say, just for the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But they were less than impressed. Anyway, I don't go to a lot of concerts. I like going to concerts. I like going to concerts, but I don't go to that many. I would go to more. I would go to more probably.
Yeah.
I kind of like seeing live music. When I've been in Nashville or been in Austin or been in some different places where I could just go and listen to live music. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I
enjoy that atmosphere of somebody up there laying it all out and passing the bucket for tips and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a fun fun thing.
If you want to get a good value for your dollar, go see Usher.
Really?
Yeah, Usher, it's about $1.22 per minute, $3.76 per song.
Really?
Ed Sheeran Ed Sheeran also delivers significantly more per dollar. He's $4.79 per song.
And then you have things like Billy Joel and Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. And that's really 3 songs in one.
I wonder,
and
how
so
do you
how do
figure
they,
that? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I see a flaw in the system of the pricing criticism. Okay, I'm going to state something. Lauren, ready?
Yes.
Let the trumpets sound. I don't believe in UFOs. I don't believe UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Okay. Yeah, there are things that are unidentified that are flying objects.
But you don't believe they're aliens
I don't
or from
think they're-
other
no,
other
no.
life forms
I don't think-
from other planets.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think there's life somewhere else out there. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the comeback is very quick. Man, such hubris that you would think out of the trillion different planets that we'd be the only ones where there's life. I don't know. I'm just telling you, I don't think so. I don't think there's life out there. I don't think that we're waiting to find somebody who's, been there before. And I bring it up because there is a story out of Colombia and a lot of stories right now. And not just like wacky stories, but like in real scientific journals and, quote, witnessed by military people. Scientists discovered, is that
Military people.
military people? Scientists discover a mysterious sphere in Colombia, and it has sparked UFO speculation. Now, let me hold this up and let you look at it real quick. You see this? Can you see this sphere? Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
It's got etchings on it and stuff. This is a sphere, a mysterious metallic sphere that was recovered after flying through the air in Colombia. And scientists are baffled, and many are saying, yeah, it's probably a UFO.
So that thing, what, it just like showed, like it just dropped into a field or something?
It was, according to reports, it was flying. It was a flying orb. Okay, stay with me.
Okay.
The bizarre sphere was recorded flying over the town of Buga in the western part of the country in March before landing and being confiscated, according to somebody who writes on X.
Okay.
The orb,
I trust him.
Yeah, it's got to be true. It's on X.
Her, him, whatever.
They. The orb, which reportedly weighed about 4.5 pounds, and was cold to the touch when found, had etched into it a series of ancient-looking symbols, including runes and characters from the Ogham and Mesopotamian writing systems.
Okay.
Locals claim the object is of alien origin, and even researchers admit they, can't, say where it came from. And part of the thing, the etchings and all that, come on. So people in another planet far away had a same language system that is an ancient language system on the Earth.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Isn't Mesopotamia?
It's
those would be
on this Earth,
yeah.
right? Anyway, but here's
this Earth
on this
like
Earth.
The on Earth,
Yeah,
right? We don't have to say
Earth.
on this.
That's
Earth.
right.
It's just
This
on
is the only
Earth,
This is the only Earth,
right?
Here's the part that I do find interesting. The sphere has no welds or joints. That's pretty interesting, which would typically indicate, obviously being made by humans.
Yeah.
According to Jose Luis Velasquez, he's a radiologist hired to examine the sphere. It is of artificial origin in that it shows no evidence of welding, and its internal structure is composed of high-density elements. More testing is needed to establish its origin, Dr. Velasquez said in a video that was shared on X. So scientists are using AI to decipher what they believe the symbols mean. The origin of birth through union and energy in the cycle of transformation, meeting point of unity, expansion and consciousness, individual consciousness. The message purportedly reads. They're so smart. Why can't they make sense? That doesn't make any sense. The research team studying the orb said, we interpret it as a message to humanity, encouraging a collective shift to consciousness to help Mother Earth, especially considering the current issues with pollution and environmental decline. Yawn.
It's kind of sketchy.
Seriously, just yawn. I'd love to be a person like doing all the hoaxy stuff. Just hoax it all up and then look at all these people.
In your spare time.
Yeah.
Come up with a hoax.
That's right. So see, tomorrow, let me think for a second. Tomorrow. See what I have tomorrow.
Have some time between 1 and 2.
Let's see. Tomorrow, what I have to do, I have to work on the radio for 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Then I have to finish writing my manifesto.
Just one? It's just one manifesto?
Yeah, I'm working. I got a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so there you go. I don't believe it. Obviously I don't believe this story, but Julia Mossbridge of the University of San Diego Department of Physics and Biophysics dismissed the notion that it's of alien origin. She says, it looks to me like a really cool art project. And that's what I would say. So I don't really know. But I do think people I don't want to say that people who believe in aliens are godless people. I don't know. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know if they're godless people or not. But I think when you look for answers to the universe mm-hmm. and how we got here and the meaning and all this kind of stuff, I think a lot of times it's because you've sort of rejected or you have not accepted the truth mm-hmm. of how we got here, why we got here, what is our value, mm-hmm. what is our relative position among those things that are created. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes people are just looking. Imagine if you didn't know the truth, if you didn't really know who created us,
right.
That there was a creator, that he created us, why he created us, how we can be reconciled to him. Imagine if you didn't know that. And if you were a kind person, a thinking person, even an intelligent person, that you would spend, I think I would spend like my whole life trying to figure that out.
Well, any theory could be true. Anytime that you heard a new theory
absolutely.
That was even the slightest bit plausible, you might be tempted to try to figure, well, is this it? Is this true? Is this the thing I'm looking for?
That's what I mean. Mm-hmm. I think that you'd be constantly chasing the different things, and then to be this thing had come up, and then somebody else comes up with a new thing, and maybe that's the thing. Somebody else comes up with a new thing, and maybe that's the thing, and you go on and on and on. For those of us who are pretty secure in what we believe, and I understand it's a belief, I got it, but we believe is the truth. We don't chase those things. We don't know. I don't know. I think what I said on the radio 100 years ago about UFOs mm-hmm. is if they exist, if life on other planets exists, God made them.
Sure.
That's all I know. All I know is everything that has been made was made by him.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't believe we have evidence that there is intelligent life or even, frankly, life at all on other planets. But, maybe I'll be proved wrong. Maybe this orb is the key to it all. I don't know. Okay, the Wilder Show podcast, Lauren, I think that's it for now. Mm-hmm. Hope everybody had a decent Memorial Day yesterday and that we remembered the real reason for Memorial Day. I know the weather didn't really cooperate for everybody's plans.
Right.
But that's okay. It's okay. You have a plan, be flexible. Always good.
Still a really good day for reflecting, I think. It
is. Yeah, for sure. I thought even stuff that I could be really critical of on the news and all that, it was good. Over the weekend, I watched so much reflecting on those who had passed in service to our country on the race days, mm-hmm. On the Indianapolis 500, and then also on the Coca-Cola 600. Man, 1,100 miles of racing I watched. Something. They just go down and turn left. They just turn left. I know. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. You could say about tennis. They just hit the ball back and forth. Golf. They just hit that little ball Baseball's so boring. I mean, no, everybody has their own thing.
That's true.
The things that you don't appreciate, one feels justified in criticizing, but cricket is not interesting. So, Instagram, you can find us on Instagram if you want to. Just got to look. Wilder Show Pod is what you'll look for. If you want to send us an email, send all the mean ones to Lauren and all the good ones to me at podcast@wildershow.com.
I'll take them.
Podcast@wildershow.com. I only say that because I know it would never be so. Wilder Show Podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time. Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. So like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And please share. We want Lauren to come back again next time.
Do